doing? So today we're going to do that classic all Irish favourite, it's bacon and cabbage, but we're going to do it in a slow cooker this time. Really, really simple for anybody to do. Have a look, here we go. So it doesn't get much more Irish than this, bacon and cabbage. We're going to do it in a slow cooker, crock pot. And here we have our bacon. I've had this soaking overnight just to draw out some of the excess salt that would be in the bacon. You don't have to do this, but I like to take some of the salt out. Then I have some Savoy cabbage. This is Irish Savoy cabbage, hand-picked. This is what I would have grown up eating when I was younger. And then I have some parsley, some wild curly parsley I'm going to use for the sauce, and then some organic Irish baby potatoes as well. So first I'm going to change the water in this, and then we're going to get it into the crock pot. So that's the water changed. I'm going to get into crock pot now in just a second. Just on the cabbage side of things, I'm going to get this in about an hour before the end of the bacon, before it's finished cooking. And then I'm going to use half of it in that. I'm going to get the potatoes in about 2 hours before the end of the bacon, because it's going to be on low, and that'll be plenty of time for the baby potatoes to be ready. But also half of this cabbage I'm going to use for a different way, a less traditional way, just so you can see which one would suit you best. So in the bacon goes to the crock pot first. Now make sure it's covered with clean, fresh water. Now I'm just going to add a couple of bay leaves. Now these are not necessary, but it's entirely up to yourself. Then we're just going to put the crock pot or slow cooker on high. I'm going to leave that for 3 hours before I add my potatoes. And then an hour after the potatoes go in, I'm going to add half of my cabbage. Now for the cabbage, I've split it in half, or almost half. This cabbage here, this is kind of the innermost of the cabbage. This will take longer to break down, so I'm going to put this in for the last hour with the bacon, and then the outer layers here, basically I'm going to slice that down, I'm going to blanch it, and then I'm going to toss it in a little bit of garlic and butter basically, and that's going to go underneath the bacon. That's for our second version of our bacon and cabbage. So it's been 6 hours and my potatoes are most definitely cooked by now. I can see one starting to split there, so that's perfect. Bacon is absolutely cooked, and of course the cabbage is cooked. You can see it's lost its colour, as will what will happen with a bacon and cabbage traditional dinner anyhow. So let's get this onto a plate. So that's your bacon and cabbage dinner, done from the crock pot. Potatoes, the cabbage and the bacon, and all it needs is just a little bit of parsley sauce. And for the not so traditional cabbage, we got some salted boiling water here. We shredded the cabbage down. We're going to blanch it for about a minute. Once that's blanched for a minute, we're going to drain it off while it's still keeping its colour. We're going to saute it in some Irish butter. Just give that about 40 seconds to a minute in there. And there we are, our second dish of bacon and cabbage from the slow cooker, this time with sauteed, buttered cabbage